23 years after they last played a tournament match on home soil, this generation of Pararoos now get the chance. It was at the Sydney Olympics, or the Sydney Paralympics I should say, in 2000, when Australia's men's side for players with cerebral palsy, acquired brain injury or stroke last got the chance. And while so much has changed since then, the Pararoos spirit has been forever undefeated and has remained that way. And something else that has remained throughout the Pararoos setup since 1998 is David Barber, who today makes his 100th appearance as captain of the Pararoos, and he draws ever closer to the record currently held by one Mark Schwarzer. He has 109 caps as a male player for Australia. David Barber today moves to 107. So a chance for him to really make history this week coming up. He'll surely pass that in the days and times to come over the next few days. But David Barber will start in between the sticks for Australia. If we go to the team, they'll go with number 7, David Barber in goal. He's part of their starting 7. Number 2 is Ben Roach. Number 3, Caelan Van Heer. Number 4 is Alessandro Lavagetta. Number 5 is Daniel Campbell. Number 11 is Jeremy Boyce. And number 13 is Taj Lynch. And from a Thailand point of view, they were 14th at the recent IFCPF Men's World Cup in Spain, and they start in goal with number 1, Apuat Saito. Number 4 is Tanachok Siravat. Number 5 is Atan Tahi. Number 6 is Siwadol Katan Yutowong. Number 11 is Pompipat Nampaksa. Number 12 is Chanatip Diman. And number 13 is Nime Kesakayu. So that is the Thailand starting 7. Australia making one change from the side that drew 0-0 with the United States of America in February, with Connor Bunce dropping to the bench and Jeremy Boyce coming in. He was ill for that game in Manly in February. And from a Thailand point of view, Jetsurin Wonghang-mit won't take the field today for Thailand, with his replacement being Apuat Saito. Also dropping out from the last team that played for Thailand was Tahong Narongchai, who's not travelled to Australia to be a part of the squad for this IFCPF Asia Oceania Championships. So he also drops out of the team, with the Kasakayu coming in for him. The last time they played was at the Asian Games against Myanmar. They won 3-2 in their final game in that tournament, but finished 14th at the most recent IFCPF World Cup, as the ParaMatildas make their way into the stand here in Bundoora after an early win for them earlier today. A 3-0 win over Japan, 2 goals to Georgia Bykoff and 1 to Anne-Marie Dioriati. Kicked off the tournament with a win for the ParaMatildas, and now the Pararoos are hoping to follow suit. Soon both sides will be led out onto the main pitch here at the home of the Matildas. It's been a huge day already for Australian football. It's going to be a huge week. And the Pararoos will be set to make their first bout in this competition.
Ladies and gentlemen, can you please make some noise and welcome to the field.
Led on by referee Akmal Rahimov.
CommBank Pararoos.
Pararoos and Thailand making their way out onto the main pitch. Thailand in the red shirts, the blue shorts and the red socks. And of course Australia in that famous, famous green and gold. And while David Barber is in the purple, he is an Australian captain for the 100th time. He's had the armband since 1998. And he's looking for more records in sight as we get set for the national anthems of both Thailand and Australia.
I invite those who are able to be upstanding for the national anthem of Thailand. We now ask those who are able to remain standing for the playing of the national anthem of Australia.
The handshakes take place, anthems are done, and we get set for the football with Australia against Thailand. They've met 2 times before. Australia won both of them in the last Asian Cup back in 2018 and also in the 2019 World Cup. It was a 3-0 win in 2018 with Benny Roach and Daniel Campbell brace. Benny Roach was at the double the next time they played in 2019. Also goals to Barber, Ben Atkins and Connor Bunce, who is on the bench. David Barber now in between the sticks for cap 107. Only 2 Australian men's players for the Socceroos are ahead of him in terms of caps. Tim Cahill in 108 and Mark Schwarzer in 109. Now Mark Schwarzer has a lot of records and he was a wonderful goalkeeper for all the clubs that he played for alongside the Socceroos as well, but that's not a record you'd think he'd have for much longer. As photos will take place. Big day for Caelan Van Heer, set to earn his 3rd cap for Australia. Played locally for Williams Landing just down the road from here. And will now make his 3rd cap, or 3rd appearance I should say, for Australia consecutively. Played both games against the United States of America in February. As there'll be a coin toss in the middle. Both captains there. In the middle, Suuro Katanyutawong and David Barber. So just to repeat the Australian starting lineup for you. Barber in goal, it'll be Roach, Van Heer, Lavagetta, Campbell, Boyce and Lynch, the outfielders. And for Thailand in goal, they will go with Saito. And our outfielders are Siravat Tahi, Katanyutawong, Kesko, and now Paxa alongside Chanatit Deeman, who is also capable of playing in goal but will start outfield in the number 12. Australia looking for their 50th win as the Pararoos as well. They've had 49 previous, 49-5 and 75 in their previous matches. And if they can find their 3rd win against Thailand in their history, they will raise the bat as a team. And David Barber has been there for almost every clash that the Pararoos have had. Held the armband since 1998, holds it today in his 107th appearance for his country. As Caelan Van Heer, the Victorian, will get us underway from the home of the Matildas. The Pararoos campaign set to start against Thailand. Australia in position and ready. Thailand, not so much at the moment. We're not far off. Thailand have got two outfielders in the 6-yard box.
On home soil in Melbourne, taking on Thailand from the home of the
quite a deep line that now moves up towards the
all set for kickoff. Let's go Pararoos.
edge of the box. It's now a full-size pitch. Of course, we're going off the blue lines for the ParaMatildas, and now going with the white lines for the Pararoos as Kellen right here gets us underway, and the Pararoos campaign is underway likewise. Had a wonderful day back in February at Cromer Park in Manly, holding the United States to a draw. Can they find a win here that would be their 50th as a Pararoos team? Benny Roach looking to try and get past Thai, he couldn't quite, and Thailand have the ball on the right-hand side. He looked down the line and did well to find Nampaksa. Making a run down the right was Kasakayu. And out of play, David Barber with the ball at his feet for the first time today. And the number of shirts that are adorned with Barber 7 here today, there's quite a lot of them. And fair enough too. Lavagetta down the line. Looking for the run of Boyce, who got by one, got into the area, went over. Fair challenge according to the referee, and we play on. Moving forward was D-Man down the Thailand left, and it's out of play for a throw. Thailand's World Cup campaign ended with a 1-1 draw with Venezuela last year in Salou, in Spain. And they've also played at the Asian Cup in between times, including a game that finished 8-7 in a loss against Malaysia. So they've been in high-scoring games before as Australia win it back. Boyce was looking for Van here, couldn't quite find him. 2 30-minute halves in this one as opposed to the 2 25-minute halves that we had in the ParaMatildas clash with Japan earlier on. As Campbell plays it wider here for Lavagetta. Looks to return the favour. Plays it over towards the left-hand side here for Benny Roach, who celebrated his birthday during the week. Got past one, looking to get past the second. Out of play for a goal kick. Turned 35 on Thursday, did Ben Roach. This is 60th cap for his country. Good for a goal every other game. If you include this cap with 60 caps and 30 goals, it looks like there's a problem with the net here. Down away to my left. It's always the question of the officials checking the holes in the nets. There's plenty of holes in the net, but perhaps one larger than there should be. All's well, and we're away again. Siravat. Back inside his own half for D-Man. Down the line for Tahe. Thailand just happy to keep the ball here early on in this one. They've monopolised the ball in the last minute or so. Look towards the right-hand side for Siravat, looking for the switch of play. As Campbell provides the press. Katanyutawong. Siravat, for the ball into the middle. Roach cutting it out. Lavagetta. Campbell on the turn. Plays it back out wide for the West Australian. Lynch and Barber. Lavagetta down the inside right channel went Campbell. Ball didn't quite get to him. Benny Roach in a bit of space, had a look, shot was blocked, only as far as Daniel Campbell, who had a look, as the keeper loses it, and Van Heer couldn't quite scramble it home. Nervy moment there for Apuat Saito as Thailand have turned it over. There's Campbell, deflected for a corner. Thailand kept the ball for a long time, but Australia won it back, and as soon as they did, that Thailand goal started to live a charmed life. Poor clearance from the back. Daniel Campbell doesn't need a second invitation. His shot deflected on the way through, and it will be the Ethiopian-born player to take the corner. Bit of push and shove in the middle with Kalen Van Heer central to it all. He's quite small in stature, but he does throw his weight around as Kalen Van Heer. He's certainly not afraid to make his presence felt. The corner's taken short. Bit of interplay between Campbell and Boyce. Boyce inside the area, and it prodded away from him. Long range strike! Keeper parries. And Alessandro Lavagetta, the 22-year-old, having a look from range. The shot was on target, but couldn't quite beat the Thailand shot stopper. Australia really growing into this one now. D-Man. To work it for. That's a good ball for Siravat. Who has Roach opposed to him. Works the 1-2 with Tahe. Will then find his captain Katayutawong. D-Man had a look. A bit of power on the shot. Just over the top of the bar. For a split second, David Barber might have been a little bit worried, but in the end he needn't have been. Roach visits it across for Lavagetta. Looks for Campbell in space. First touch slightly got away from him. D-Man look down the line, out of play into touch for a throw for Australia. With Taj Linsho with Tateko, who made his debut against Ukraine back at the World Championships in 2017 in Argentina. Thrown long into the box towards Van Heer, who flicked on. He went over. And he's still down. Australia's number 3. Thailand wanted to play it on. Van Heer now back to his feet. And every player will, of course, have their little fan club, but there's a few Kalen Van Heer shirts in and around the place, which is wonderful to see. Again, Thailand content to keep it. D-Man. Siruat. Looking for the switch of play. Cut out by Lavagetta. Now, Daniel Campbell, who was the Pararoos of the Year in 2022. Went out wide for Boyce, who gave it back for Campbell inside the area. First touch over the byline and behind for a goal kick to Thailand. It's played down the line. Town high on the left-hand side, ball in board. Found Tahe. Over for Siravat. Over towards the right-hand side again for Tanashok Siravat, who scored a brace against the Philippines back at the Asian Games earlier on this year. D-Man had a bit of space and dragged his effort wide. Took a deflection on the way in, so it's behind for a corner. Thailand showing some good signs early on here, with Nampaksa over to take the corner. He went to Salou last year as part of that World Cup squad. Part of the team that finished 14 in Salou. Play back for Siravat, who had a shot. Taj Lynch getting ahead to it to divert it away from goal. And in by Tahe. Lynch looking to clear. Shouts for handball. Fall on deaf ears. Back for Sakeu. Australia working away. Down the line ball from Lavagetta. Finds Campbell. Plays it for Roach, just forward of halfway now. Turned away from Kasakeu. Lavagetta looks to lift it in. Thailand's had it clear. It's only as far as Ben Roach, who had a hit, dragged it wide. Not someone you particularly want to give too much space to on the edge of the box, Ben Roach. Last goal for Australia came against Canada in 2019 in a 4-0 win. So he's certainly someone that knows where the net is and able to find it there. Siravat towards Katanyutawong. And with Siravat. Looks forward for Nampaksa. Ball forward wasn't his best, and through to David Barber it goes. Lavagetta down the line, looking for the run of Boyce, who will just about keep it in. And all the way back to his own half for Lynch. And now with Roach once more. Plays it across for Lavagetta, who elected to potentially try and shoot. It may well have been a cross, but in the end it wasn't very effective. Out of play for a goal kick. Siravat cutting infield, playing forward. Barber smartly off his line to claim. Would have been a free kick anyway, going against Sakeu. Australia move it forward again. Roach looking for Campbell down the inside left channel. To whip it in right-footed. Cross was blocked and away go Thailand. Tahe rolling it across. Now D-Man. They did likewise for Nampaksa. Checked as he looked to move his way forward was Tahe. Lynch, the offending player, straight away helping the Thailand number 5 to his feet. It's a smile from the referee. Taj Lynch knew exactly that it was a foul. Didn't need telling again. Good show of sportsmanship just to show the thumbs up, which was returned by Atan Tahe, as Thailand have got a player down here. It will be Niv Kasakeu, who is the player down inside the D. Didn't go to the World Cup last year in Spain, but more than made up for it in the last tournament that Thailand were involved in, which was the Asian Games. Scored 5 goals in an 11-1 rout over the Philippines a few months ago now. He's now back to his feet. And hopefully he's able to continue. As Taj Lynch is now getting a bit of attention himself. Here back on. And for the moment, Lynch isn't, so Australia are a player down. Here now off again, so back at 6 aside. Here making his way around the corner. Speaking to the assistant referee, and Taj Lynch is getting bandaged up around the forehead. Got a bit of tape on his wrist as well, so he's someone that at the moment is walking wounded. He's not letting anything stop him from playing for his country. It's sent into the box, high from Nampaksa, and too long as Barber will retrieve. Both players back on, and we're back to a full complement of 7, or we will be in a moment, because Thailand had Atan Salhe off as well. He's back on, and now confidently we can say that we're back to 7 aside. Barber. Have a getter, looking down the line here for Daniel Campbell, who's advanced high on the right-hand side for Australia. Getter. All the way back for David Barber, who is now in a more familiar position, well out of the box. He's played most of his career as an outfielder. As Lynch works it forward, Boyce kept it in play. Road 1 challenge, still Boyce, out to play for a corner. And the Western Australian did very well there. Jeremy Boyce, still in the 19 as the corner's taken short. Work towards Roach, who moves away from one. Out to play for an Australia throw. And all of a sudden, 17.5 minutes of this game have absolutely raced by. Not too many goal-scoring chances of which to speak, but certainly hasn't been a bad watch. Roach sending it in low. Helped away in the end by D-Man. A couple of Australia's subs in Christian Pitsikas and Christian Sangus warm up. Here's Lynch, looking to roll it forward. Potentially looking for Daniel Campbell. Out to play it goes. Worth a reminder, of course, that there are no offsides in cerebral palsy football either, so while Daniel Campbell may have looked offside, of course, there's not such a thing in this game. And so everything would have been fine in that regard. Siravat. D-Man. Over to the left-hand side for Katanyutawong. It's worked forward. Tahe almost had it taken away from him by Campbell, but the Australian number 5 was adjudged to have fouled the Thailand number 5, and so a free kick for Thailand just inside Australia territory here. And Suratak Sunsara, I should say, can his side take the lead here? Shot on target, but straight into the breadbasket of Barber, who in his 100th game with the armband hasn't had a whole lot to do. I'm sure he wouldn't mind that. As Roach takes it up and over halfway. Boyce, now for Campbell. who skips away from one challenge. Rolls it inside the box, looking for the 1-2 with Boyce. Set a task there, Campbell. Van Heer, back for Campbell, lovely interplay, heavy first touch. But a great ball back from Caitlin Van Heer. Almost orchestrating what would have been a wonderful assist. Roach in space. It's away from one, it's inside the box. Roach, did he keep it alive? He didn't. In any case, the cross went by the byline. It's the referee going over to one of his assistants. Not a clue what the topic of conversation was. Maybe now this might be a little bit clearer. He's gone over to Taj Lynch, who will be ordered off. Bit of blood appearing over the bandage, and so a bit of water will be given to him. He'll clean it all up and will be back out again. It's just over his shoulder, in fact. Play goes on as D-Man put one from range. Lavagetta helps it away. Still Lynch is off, and still Australia are one down. In terms of personnel, that is not on the scoreboard. It's still goalless here at Bundoora. Home of the Matildas as D-Man has the ball just back of halfway. Now with Siravat, he looks to roll it forward down the inside right channel. Roach cutting it out, making sure that Tahi couldn't get there. Couldn't prevent the ball going out of play for a Thailand corner. Taj Lynch back on. It's been a few times where we've been reduced from 14 players out there on the park. Looks like we might be in that situation again with Atan Tahi going over towards the touchline. Corner to be taken by Pompat. Nampaksa here for Thailand, who will lift it in right-footed towards the edge of the box. Flicked on by D-Man. It'll stay in play. Skeu looking to get away from Lynch. Lynch did well. Lavagetta helps it further clear. And Paxa towards D-Man. It's a bit boisterous there from Jeremy Boyce. Nothing doing according to the officials. D-Man sliding in Jeremy Boyce and sending it out of play for a Thailand throw. And by the applause, you can tell exactly what the pro-Australian crowd thought of that. Tahi got away from Roach, and here the ball towards Ben Roach, but out of play it went. Vice captain getting the ball back into play. Campbell. Lavagetta towards Boyce. Clever first touch into space. His shot was charged down. As Campbell looks to keep it for his country. Split goes for another Australia throw. The Pararoos looking to mount the pressure on here. Campbell couldn't get through a couple of Thailand defenders. He got the ball back though, did Daniel Campbell. Broke kindly here for Jeremy Boyce, who was looking for Caelan Van Heer, couldn't find him. The Pararoos not having this all on their own terms here. They do have a flawless record against Thailand in their history, but in their quest to try and change that fact, Thailand have acquitted themselves very well in the opening 25 minutes here at the home of the Matildas. D-Man over to Katanutawong. And Paxa on the edge of his penalty area. And here was interested in trying to cut that out, but couldn't quite get there. He did put a bit of pressure though on Siravat as he looked to help it away. Lavagetta again. Further afield is Ben Roach. Rolled in board for Boyce. Looks to return the favour. Ricocheted out of play off Ben Roach for a goal kick. You can see what Australia are trying to do. We've seen a little bit of that interplay in the final third that Australia pride themselves on, but at the moment, this Thailand rearguard have stood tall. They've proven themselves very tough to break down. And if it can stay that way for another 35 minutes or so, then I'm sure that they'll take that. Loose giveaway. Getting on the ball there. Kasakeu. Towards the Thailand right with Siravat. Plays it inside the area. Lavagetta helps it clear. Well controlled by Van Heer. The pass was behind Campbell. Who opens the game out now up for Lynch. Roach, Boyce, skipping away from one. This is Jeremy Boyce. His shot is blocked. And Thailand will clear their lines. Long down the line from D-Man. Barber. And now Roach again. Boyce gave it away. On forward for Thailand, and so Lynch will cut it out. Lavagetta down the line for Roach, who has swapped wings and was trying to win inside a corner. A little bit of disapproval at the decision from the Australian fans right behind the assistant referee on the far side, but that wasn't going to affect the decision. Play brought to a halt as Australia's number 11, Jeremy Boyce, just does up his laces. Australian crowd starting to find their voice, as they did to great effect earlier on when the ParaMatildas found their way to a 3-0 win. It's always the thing with a tournament on home soil. If you can get the home crowd involved, then the chances of success do increase, as we saw at the recent Women's World Cup with the Matildas. Cutting it out, Ben Roach in the direction of Van Heer. Couldn't quite get there. I'd say that there'd be a few minutes of added time here on the way. owing to all the stoppages that we've had. Barber. Now for Lynch. 2 minutes of added time.
There will be 2 minutes of time added on. 2 minutes.
Lifted up towards Boyce, who couldn't quite get there. Well, like a push from Jeremy Boyce, and the referee just making sure that he snuffed that out. Ball just about stays in play for Tahe. Almost had it back there for Thailand. D-Man. Over towards Katanyutawong. Campbell won it back for Australia. Has Van Heer ahead of him. Campbell for the moment going alone. Waits for further support. Campbell deciding to win his side of throw instead. Rolled in short for Lynch. Back with Campbell. Now Ben Roach, who turns away from one. Ben Roach, blocked en route, right to the line. Goalkeeper doing very well. Great bit of work in between the sticks from Apiwat Saito, who we've hardly had to mention in this first half. Kalen Van Heer looking to feed off the scraps in the 6-yard box, but and couldn't quite do it. Looks as though there'll be some treatment called for Apiwat Saito. And while he gets that treatment, the referee will blow for half-time. The first half that Australia saw a fair bit of the ball, but
CommBank Pararoos, nil.
in the end never really looked likely of finding the back of the net. They had a couple of chances. Ben Roach saw a shot flash wide from distance, and right on the half-time break, Kalen Van Heer almost seeing the ball break to him for what would have been a tap-in. Thailand had defended very well, it must be said, and at the break, here at the home of the Matildas in Bundura, it's Australia 0, Thailand 0 in the opening game of the men's side of things here in the IFCPF Asia Oceania Championships for 2023. So, with both sets of players heading towards the dressing room, we'll take a short break here from Bundura. You're watching SBS's live coverage of the 2023 IFCPF Asia Oceania Championships. We'll be back shortly. Welcome back to the home of the Matildas in Bundura as we get ready for the second half between the Pararoos and Thailand. Of course, we've had one game here today already between the ParaMatildas and Japan. ParaMatildas winning that by 3-2 thanks to a brace from Georgia Bykov and a goal from Anne-Marie Duriati. As both teams get set to get ready for the second half. Of course, this is part of SBS's coverage of the 2023 IFCPF Asia Oceania Championships, and we're here because of many people, but just wanted to give a quick shout out to Emma and Macy, who are two students from Deniliquin who really gave this push from SBS a lift. Emma's 11 and Macy's 10, and they met Georgia Bykov in class on a Zoom meeting. They then wrote into the SBS director and put the push forward to have it broadcast and have this tournament broadcast, both the ParaMatildas and the Pararoos. And we're here now, so a massive thanks to them as we get this second half underway. It is wonderful to be a part of this all and have cerebral palsy football broadcast, and who knows where it goes from here. We're underway in this second half. Thailand now going from right to left and Australia from left to right. Australia had chances, as did Thailand in the first half, but neither defence was breached, and so we have just a little bit over half an hour, if you factor in added time at the end of it all, for either side to find a winner. We'll have the ball in, will Thailand, from this near side through Suarol Katanyutawong, the Thailand captain, who rolled it short for D-Man. Ball drifting out of play just in front of Thailand's number 11 in Kompipat Nampaksa. He made 4 appearances at the most recent Asian Games, scoring twice. It's the referee motioning for Atantahe to get the ball back into play, which eventually happens. And it was a foul throw after all of that, and so Australia will have the ball back. Both sides unchanged to start the second half, and as such going in with the same starting 7 as they selected. So for Australia in goal, that's number 7 David Barber, the outfielders number 2 Ben Roach, number 3 Caelan Van Heer, number 4 Alessandro Lovagetta, number 5 is Daniel Campbell, number 11 is Jeremy Boyce, and number 13 is Taj Lynch. We'll get to the Thailand 7 in a moment as Boyce has the ball on the right-hand side, looking to run into the middle. Boyce got by, whoa, Jeremy Boyce! Ball looked to have struck his arm, play goes on, breaks for Campbell, who puts it in! That's such an intelligent finish! Mimicking Jude Bellingham with a celebration as well. I tell you what, get the Real Madrid number 5 to do what the Pararoos number 5 has just done. Delightful little chip. It looked for all money like it was going over the top of the bar. It nestled into the back of the net, and the Pararoos have the lead. Set up by Jeremy Boyce. It broke for Campbell, who lofted it over the top of Apiwat Saito. And the Pararoos are on the board in this Para-Asian Cup. Ball down the line for Van Heer. Cushion down for Campbell. Didn't he just love that? Of course players love scoring goals, but Daniel Campbell with a special goal and with the celebration to match. He's absolutely some player. As they move it down the left-hand side through Boyce. Van Heer waiting in the middle. Still Boyce looking for the cutback. Roach was arriving. Ball didn't get to him. D-Man cutting it out and starting the break here for Thailand as Campbell goes over. And it's a foul. So Daniel Campbell, not too long after being really up and about, is now down on the ground and back to his feet. But with Daniel Campbell, already is he at cerebral palsy player of the year for the Pararoos, but it's so easy to forget it sometimes. He's only 20, born in January 2003, and so this new wave of Pararoos, of course you've got David Barber behind him, who's been going for what seems like forever, but there is a lot of new blood complementing him, and Daniel Campbell looks like leading a Pararoos surge up the world rankings, and if he's doing things like that, then that surge will be rather quick. Lavagetta. Campbell skipping in field. He's playing with real confidence now. Boyce away from one. Shot charge down. And away goes Thailand again. Wonderful run this from D-Man. Going forward with real pace. D-Man, a wonderful run. Would have been a wonderful goal. Flashes his shot wide, but in the end, the shot didn't do the run justice. And there's a fair argument to be made that Thailand should be level. Masterful run from D-Man, who scored 6 in 3 appearances at the most recent Asian Games, including 2 braces against Myanmar and 1 against Malaysia. Boyce on the right here for the Pararoos. Still he goes. He's a hard man to bring down. Van Heer. He goes over. Play goes on. Here's Campbell again. His shot blocked. Lavagetta. Van Heer still down. Free kick going the way of Thailand. Wanting a yellow card there, it was Hesekiu, but looks like there's more serious matters. Thailand also with a player down. Looks like that player is Ponpripat Nampaksa, the number 11 for Thailand. Who is now back on his feet, which is wonderful to see. Down the right-hand side and unable to bring it under his spell, Hesekiu. Cross now for Lavagetta. He feigned to shoot and then found Benny Roach, who gave a free kick away. Fouling at Antahe. Caleb Van Heer standing in front of the ball. Despite being a young player, Caleb Van Heer, he's certainly very intelligent in the way of the dark arts of football. It's another good run here from D-Man. We've seen this once before. Campbell stole it away from him. Will he provide another wonderful highlight, as we saw earlier on? Here's Boyce. Good challenge from D-Man. And here working hard to try and keep it in. He barged over unfairly. Not according to the officials. Continue to Wong. Down the line for Nampaksa, out of play for an Australia throw. Augustine Murphy and Connor Bunce go for a few run-throughs. Barber looking to play out from the back. Campbell. Lynch. Approaching board. Now Lavagetta. Boyce in space. Had a shot, but that was blocked. Lynch back there to snuff out the Thailand foray forward. Broke kindly now for Nampaksa on the left. Tahe. Pass was under hits. Roach. That was a free kick. Certainly a foul worthy of one. So to be it. Thailand ball. We have just over 20 minutes to try and answer back here. Aside from the goal, the first 40 minutes have gone to plan as the ball goes in towards the middle. Last out of play, Taj Lynch behind for a corner. And so Thailand, who would have come into this game rather unfancied, have done well in this one. And will be looking for a way back into the game. Can they get it here from the corner? Floated in high towards the back post. Bonds nodded that one, Boyce should say, nodded that one out of play. He would have been better served letting it run. Tahe throwing it in. Lynch could start to break away here for Australia. Van Heer and Campbell forward. He was looking for the former but found the latter. Here's Campbell. Van Heer arriving in the middle. Good bit of working back there from D-Man. It's a play behind for... say how to play across the touchline for an Australia throw. 1-2 between Campbell and Boyce. Boyce turning away. Roach looking to curl one! Not far away, you know. It really wasn't far away. And Roach almost putting an end to his 4-year wait for a national team goal. And if he's given chances like that across this tournament, he may well do it here. Would mean more to him maybe than all of the other goals he's scored, given he is a Victorian and playing in front of friends and family in his home state. Tahe looking to work a 1-2 with D-Man. Referee unhappy with something. David Barber trolling the ball back, and it'll be a Thailand free kick. And if the referee wasn't a giveaway, Caelan Van Heer sprinting to try and get in front of the ball definitely is. Standing over the ball now is Tanachok Siravat. He'll just loft this one in. Barber missed it all the way into the back of the net via a touch from Neva Kaiserkyu, and Thailand are level. Brilliant delivery into the box from Siravat. Everybody in green and gold, or pink if you like, had missed it. And via a touch from
the score is now Australia.
Thailand's number 13, Nevat Kaiserkau, has got an equaliser for Thailand, and on the balance of play, it's deserved as well. Great ball into the middle, right into the danger area. And Kaiserkau got a touch, a telling touch, that brings Thailand back level. Taj Lynch down again. And it's fair to say that from an Australian point of view, so many around me in the stand are of that persuasion this is going against the script. And eyes may well now turn to head coach Kyle Lambert. What's his next move? Is he forced to make one with Taj Lynch down at the goal mouth? Thailand players over towards their coaching staff, maybe getting a few more words of instruction or words of encouragement. This game's there for them now. Game back underway. It looks like there will be a change with Connor Bunce on. Have to see if Taj Lynch is involved in that change. He's making his way around the corner, but play goes on as Bunce rolls it forward for Campbell. Looking to cut it back towards Van Heer. Ball didn't get there. Danger still not clear from a Thailand point of view. Van Heer back for Benny Roach, who almost had it taken away from him. And eventually it's helped into touch for an Australia throw. And this will present the avenue rather for Connor Bunce's introduction. This now is 16th cap.
Number 13, Taj Lynch. He'll be replaced by number 10, Connor Bunce.
And Taj Lynch's 21st appearance in green and gold is curtailed early. Can Connor Bunce, who started the game against the US, can he provide a bit of magic? Here he is at the edge of the box. Bunce, all the way back to his goalkeeper. Lavagetta. Bunce with an arm aloft, calling for the ball at the back post, didn't get it. Boyce. Out of play for a corner. With Ben Roach over to take. Takes it short, and that corner routine didn't quite work as well as Australia would have liked it to. Rolled in short for Connor Bunce. Well over the top. You can see exactly what he was trying to do, but the execution wasn't quite there on that occasion. He is a player though, Connor Bunce, that if you give him a yard, he will quite often make you pay. Just quickly on the rest of the outfield subs for Australia, it's Beats, Bitseekers, and Murphy with Ben Sutton also there, who was wearing a goalkeeper shirt in the pre-match lineup video, but he's wearing the green and gold today. Christian Sangus is the most likely option should Australia require a backup goalkeeper, as it's cut out here by Ben Roach, who takes it up and over halfway. Got options left and right. Roach goes alone. Still Ben Roach, not a bad run. And helped away in the end by Sanyuta Wong. Ball forward came from Nampaksa. Keeping it alive was Tahe. Post him Lavagetta. Lavagetta takes it away from him. Campbell and Roach. As Australia look to pick up the pace. Here's Lavagetta. Boyce gives it away. It's across towards D-Man. Now back over towards Katanyuta Wong, who was the captain of Thailand's World Cup squad last year. Wearing the armband then as he does today as well. Australia now have it back. They'll bring it back in from the side through Lavagetta. Justin Murphy and Luke Launder now warming up away from the bench for Australia. Barber finds Ben Roach. He'll go down the line for Bunce, who was tight roping the touchline, and eventually the touchline won out. Kaisuke is down. Receiving a bit of support, going over there now to check on his well-being, his D-man. Getting us back underway will be Katanutawong, the Thailand captain of playoff Connor Bunce. Ball forward will disappear through to Barber. And with Lavagetta over to the left for Ben Roach. Cross into the middle is blocked. Thailand readying a change. Lavagetta across to Boyce. Shouts of wider from the crowd. They elected to go narrow through Boyce, but the pass wasn't there, and this will present a chance for Glari Natapong to come on for Thailand.
Coming off number 13, Niemen Kaisakau.
And Kaisakau, who scored.
7, Natapong Glahan.
The goal scorer is off for Thailand. And Glahan is on. Here's Bunce. His shot blocked away. Boyce just inside the Thailand half. Now back over for Roach, who looks to lift it in. Cross blocked and out of play. The ball stayed in play, but the referee calling the game to a stop. Just so Tantahe could get back to his feet. We'll have a drop ball, and it'll be all for Ben Roach, as much as Tanatrok Surivat tries to make his way over. Falling ball looking for Campbell, who goes over right at the edge of the area. Australia have to settle for a corner. That looked a contentious one. Whether it was inside or outside of the box is another question entirely. Contact was inside the box, you know. And Australia and its fans may well feel aggrieved that the Pararoos haven't just been awarded a penalty. Campbell looking for the 1-2 with Bunce. Behind again for another corner. And you wonder if Australia are just better served sending this one into the box. One towards the middle. Boyce. Roach at the edge of the area. Elected to try and curl one. It's well wide. As the Australian crowd try and become the 8th player to give the Pararoos just that little bit extra pep in their step. How this crowd would dearly love seeing a second Australian side win today. They've already seen one. And at the moment, it's on course to stay that way. Lavagetta to switch the play, sets a task for Boyce, he was up to it. Boyce going forward. Had Bunce showing for the ball, went further afield for Ben Roach. Still Ben Roach with the roulette. Makes his way into the box. Good bit of defending. To help it clear by Siravat. Over towards Glan. Who will look to run this one down, and out of play it goes. Now with Bunce, looking to orchestrate something for Australia, try and give them the lead back. Roach, away from one. On the outside of the boot, out of play for a throw to the Pararoos, who have less than 5 minutes in the hour to try and regain the lead. Lavagetta, out of play. After substituting, Natapong. In space now is Boyce, who elected to shoot well over the top. And Australia are in a similar situation to what they were in the game against the USA. The second one in February when the game was level, that one at 0-0, this one at 1-1, but there was a lot of pot shots from quite a fair way out that disappeared over the top of the crossbar, and there's remnants of that here too, as a long ball well over the top from Thailand's number 12 in D-Man, went all the way through to Barber, who can try and set Australia going again. Boyce and Bunce up and over halfway for Australia. Bunce electing to shoot, that one's blocked on the way through and behind for another Australia corner. Campbell over to take. Looked like Bunce was going short. Only Caelan Van Heer in the middle, and so again Australia will go short. Looking for the 1-2 between Bunce and Campbell. Again, it didn't quite come off. Does Kyle Emmett go for something different? Time will tell. Bunce away from one, inside the area. Looking to prod it central, but Van Heer couldn't quite get across. Campbell to make his way down the Australia left. Here's cross into the middle, blocked. And Thailand up to this point are seeing this out very well. Bunce. Now Boyce takes a touch into space. Over towards the right-hand side here for Ben Roach, who's inside the area and helps win his side a corner. And again, Connor Bunce will show short. Kyle Emmett wants it in the middle, that's where it goes. Overcooked for Campbell, not so for Van Heer. Has to try and get away from Siravat. A task he couldn't quite complete. Lavagetta. Over towards the right-hand side here for Ben Roach. Looks to play it inboard for Bunce, who flicked it over his head into space. And played it long, it's a high ball. And playing it out of play behind for another corner, Siravat. Australia getting opportunity after opportunity after opportunity here. Daniel Campbell over the top of another set piece. Will float this one in high towards Bunce, who couldn't quite get much on it. Lavagetta to pick up the pieces. Campbell again. To skip in field, he's inside the box, Daniel Campbell. And the goalkeeper, Apiwat Saito, gets there ahead of Caelan Van Heer. Still Launder and Murphy, two front men. Wait off the pitch. And you would have wondered if they would have been called upon on it. They made a very late change against the United States of America in the second game to bring on Rafferty Bacon, who was a 15-year-old. He's not in the squad for the Asia Oceania Championships, and he almost found a winner. You just wonder whether another late change will come for Australia. There will be one for Thailand by the looks of things, with Sukikran Bunsing, Thailand's number 10, set to make his tournament debut. The fourth official there waiting with the board to show how many minutes we'll get. That may well depend on how long this stoppage goes for. So Sukikran Bunsing will come on regardless by the looks of things. It'll be interesting to see whether we get the change first or whether we get the amount of minutes we'll have at the end of the hour. Busy period this for the fourth official, who's got to get all his ducks in a row. We've played the hour. The change will come first, with Bunsing coming on for Atan Tahe, who has played well, but cannot continue. And now we wait for the amount of minutes we'll get. It's 5.
Thailand coming off number 5, Atan Tahe. He'll be replaced by number 5, Sukikran Bunsing.
So 5 minutes for Australia to try and get their way back in front.
5 minutes of time added on. 5 minutes.
Long ball over towards Bunsing on the left. Still time for either side to win it. Who's that come off last? The answer is Bunsing, who was tangled with Boyce. The Australian trying to protest his innocence. Boyce down the line, Campbell on halfway. He goes over, he was fouled. Bunsing doing to Australia what Caelan Van Heer was so keen on doing to Thailand in standing in front of the ball. He's ordered away. Barber lofts it in long towards Bonds, couldn't get the flick on. Van Heer to try and run it down. Tight to the touchline, prodded away from him. Boyce almost lost it, he went over. Another Australia free kick on the way. He's keen to try and take it quick, he's not allowed an avenue to do so. As Thailand's players crowd around the ball, and you can't blame them, as they try and preserve what would be a wonderful point for them. Floated in by Lavagetta, headed out of play for a corner by Tanochok Sirivat. Australia running out of time. Breaks for Bonds, who will take it upon himself here. Over towards the left-hand side it goes. Lavagetta away from one, but the touch was too heavy. Tyler looking for the switch of play. They've got numbers forward. Over towards the left-hand side for Bunsing, who is in space. Edge of the box. Saved by Barber. That really opened up for Thailand. They may well be caught on the break here. Campbell back the other way. Van Heer ahead of the ball. Still Daniel Campbell. Goes into the box. Looks to pull it back. Not a bad idea. But back there for Thailand, as he has been all game, Apiwat Saito, who has played an absolute blinder. And if Thailand do walk away from here with a point, a lot of that will be down to him. Bunsing looking for the 1-2. Boyce there to cut it off. Across for Connor Bunce, who moves away from one. Still he goes, Connor Bunce. Back with Boyce, who played into the box. Roach is there, cuts it back towards Van Heer. Taken away from him expertly by Sirivat. And the young Victorian for a split second may have thought that he was going to win it for his side. Check of the watch from the referee. Still got over a minute of the 5 to play, and of course that 5 was signalled late. So once we get beyond that 5, we may well be at the referee's discretion for a little bit longer. Bunting rolling it in short, sending it as far forward as he can, D-Man. Australia will come with a wave again. Boyce for Bunce, stuck underneath his feet. Thailand have it back. Over towards the right-hand side for Nampaksa, who rolls it in board. No one was going to go get to the ball, and it fell kindly for Roach, who sprays it over towards the left-hand side for Bunce. In towards Van Heer. It was behind him. Nearly an expertly placed ball for Kalen Van Heer, who all told couldn't quite get to the ball. And that may well be the Pararoos' final chance. Almost at the 5 played. They would have to be perfect from here to grab the win. Bunting keeps it in play. May well be wise heading to the corner. He doesn't. Out of play for a goal kick. And David Barber, as quickly as he can, finds Ben Roach. Australia's lead is looking to link up here. Ben Roach over towards Campbell. Experience and youth intertwined. Campbell into the area, looking to engineer a shooting chance for Van Heer, who couldn't get in underneath his spell. Check of the watch from the referee. Lavagetter's there. Roach looking to turn it back for him. Thailand helping away. Whistle to the mouth and blown for full time. What a point that is for Thailand.
Full time here at the home of the Matildas. The final score: CommBank Pararoos 1, Thailand 1.
They would have been so unfancied heading into this. An 8-0 aggregate in the previous 2 meetings, the way of Australia. But Thailand walk away from this game with a point that they so deserve. Daniel Campbell put Australia into the ascendancy with a wonderful chipped finish. But in the end, before being brought off, it was Nimita Kaisakut who got the equaliser for Thailand. And on the balance of play, you'd have to say it's fair enough too. So the men's side of the draw starts with a draw. Australia and Thailand unable to be split at full time from the home of the Matildas. In the second game of 3 here today, it's Australia 1, Thailand 1. We've got 1 game to follow. We've seen 1 Japan team here today. We're about to see a second, with Iran's men's side set to make their tournament debut in the not too distant future. But Australia walking away from this game with a point. We'll see the highlights in a moment. And it looks so positive for Australia in the early going of the second half. The ball broke after a tussle from Jeremy Boyce. Broke kindly for Campbell, who just perfectly lifted it into the back of the net as Australia's players applaud the fans. And it looks so brilliant for Australia at that point. But Niv Kaisakut got the equaliser for Thailand. It was a long ball into the middle from Tanashok Tiravat, and getting a telling touch was Thailand's number 13 who got the equaliser. And so we're 2 games down. We've got 1 to come, which, as I mentioned, is Iran and Japan. That'll be with you from 7:45. We'll be live just before with a bit of a pre-match before the lead-in for the final game of day 1 of the 2023 IFCPF Asia Oceania Championships from the home of the Matildas in Bandura. We'll be back shortly. Thanks for your company for this second one, where it was the Pararoos drawing 1-1 with Thailand.
Pararoos down here with David Barber at the moment. Can you just run us through the thoughts and feelings of every being back here in Melbourne
and playing, I guess, in front of a home crowd? How's that feeling?
Yeah, look, it's amazing to be here in front of the home crowd at Melbourne. We're super excited to have a tournament back here for the first time in, well, what is it, 23 years? So that's incredibly special, and it really does a great job to lift our guys. We didn't get the result we wanted today, but Thailand were an incredibly good opponent. They did a great job of making the game difficult, and we've got to take nothing away from them. It's up to us now to regroup and reset ourselves and push hard for the rest of the tournament. But we're incredibly happy to be here. We're really thankful to the crowd that came out today. Thank you so much, guys. And we'll come back bigger and better, and we'll get them next time.
Talking about the next 8 days, we've all seen the lead up to this tournament. It looks like the feeling in the group's a really positive environment to be in, and obviously being able to come into a place like the home of the Matildas every day. But I guess just walk us through the feeling of the group, the coaching staff. It just seems like everyone's in a really good spot to tackle the next 8 days of tournament football.
Yeah, very much so. Kai and his staff do a great job of getting the boys up for every possible scenario that we have out here. And the group is very diverse, and we do a really good job of getting around each other and helping each other regardless of the situation. So we're very lucky in that relationship. It's a very special sort of environment to be in, and we work really hard on making it that way, and we're very proud of it.
Well, David, thanks so much for your time. Ladies and gentlemen, can you please put hands together for our captain, David Barber.